Welcome to Above Par. I'm your host, Kathy Hartwood. I show you how to take more of your talent to the golf course without practicing harder, taking more lessons, or buying new equipment. I show you how to end the frustration of underperforming so you can start playing to your potential. This is where you are going to learn how to think above par so you can play below par. Let's get to it. Hello, my golf friend, and welcome back to Above Par. This is Kathy. I just got back from my youngest daughter's graduation from the University of Alabama, and I was so excited that we were able to go and attend live. It was an awesome weekend. I had another daughter who graduated from college last year, and we had to do that via live feed, so I felt bad for her. She came and visited and attended this graduation, and they were both troopers. This has been a difficult time for everybody, but definitely for these kids who are graduating from colleges or having their senior years in high school and college. So anyway, it was fun, very fun weekend, celebrating, and I got all three out. They're all done. I had 3 in 3 years in college, so that was a lot. So we're going to do today a little college class, kind of. We're going to talk physics, and I'm going to talk very general physics. We're going to talk about momentum. I want to talk about that momentum or that feeling that we get when things are going well, things are moving in the right direction. We use that term a lot in golf, that I had a chain of nice holes going on. I had some really good momentum and then I lost it, or I never could get my momentum going. We use that term like it happens to us, like we're at the effect of momentum. And I just want to talk to you about it from my perspective on what I think momentum means and how you can use that to empower yourself to show up a little bit more consistently on the golf course, to not sabotage yourself in the middle of a round, right? To take more of your talent out there and just be a little bit more consistent and maybe shoot some lower scores when you're going to look at it from this perspective. So we're going to talk about physics just from a simple golf pro coach standpoint, right? So momentum refers to the quantity of motion that an object has. I want to refer to it as energy. And from what I talk about, energy is an emotion, or emotion is energy. I'm not talking about your golf swing. Clearly there's energy in that. I'm going to talk about momentum as a feeling that we have. That feeling is an energy. That energy is created by what we say to ourselves. What the thoughts that we have during the round creates that energy. And you're going to think of it as a train, right? So you have a train that we're going to push into motion, and this is your momentum. It is filled with positive energy, driven and created from positive thoughts. Now, these thoughts have to be genuine. They can't be BS thoughts. You cannot BS your brain. It can be raining out and you don't like your group and you don't want to say to yourself, this is going to be the greatest day ever. Your brain's going to call you out on that, right? So you want to make sure that you're having positive thoughts that are believable and that resonate and do create this positive emotion in you, or this positive energy. So what happens is once we get this train going, we have a way of sabotaging that train. We have some momentum and then we sabotage it. So I'm going to talk to you about a couple different ways of how we sabotage that, or how we can keep it going. So I'm going to talk about how we keep that momentum going, how we stop that momentum, and how we regain momentum once we've stopped it. So to keep the train going, you want to keep that energy positive. So the train and the momentum is going in one direction. What happens often with people is golfers think that I've had a series of holes, that I'm playing pretty well, and they have thoughts that might be something like, things are going well. I've got this. I'm in a groove. I'm making lots of pars. My swing feels pretty good. This is a good day. And those thoughts are what are creating that positive energy. Most golfers think that it's the pars that are creating that energy. And I want you to know that your shot or your score or a number are all neutral. They are neither good nor bad. They're totally neutral until we have a thought about them. And then that thought is what creates that energy and that emotion. So I know your brain is probably hurting with this a little bit, but this is how we know it's true. Because if somebody was a 95 handicap, 95 handicap, a 95, they better not be on the golf course. A 95 shooter, let's say just a bogey golfer, right? And they're going out and making some bogeys, right? They're going to think, okay, things are going pretty good. I'm having a nice day. But a 2 handicap is going to go, what the heck is going on? This is not good. So each one of them might be making the same exact score, but they both have totally different thoughts about it because that number is neutral. That score is neutral, right? So hang in there with me. So we're tooling along. We created a little momentum going forward. We create or start that momentum by having a positive thought before we start the round. We get that momentum going, and we want to keep it going regardless of the results. That's how we keep momentum. You make a bogey, and that's not an opportunity. And let's say you're a single digit, and you make a bogey or a double bogey or triple bogey, whatever it is, that is not an opportunity for you then to start saying to yourself, holy crap, things just totally turned around. I don't feel very good about my game anymore. I've lost it. The wheels have come off. Right? We say those words to ourselves based on a number. That means totally nothing. It's totally neutral. So keeping momentum is not changing your thoughts based on the score. It's not changing your thoughts based on the shot. Those shots that things are going well, I've got this, I'm in a groove, I feel pretty good about my swing, are available to you regardless of whether the ball goes in the water or not. We know this from the Masters too, right? How many balls went in the water when we were watching the Masters? A ton. And they rallied and they made pars and they birdied the next hole. They didn't take that as an opportunity to sit there and go, oh boy, the wheels have come off. I've blown it. Maybe other than for Xander, right? But we won't talk about that. But just because the ball has gone in the water or in the trees or they missed a short putt, they're not taking that as an opportunity from what we can tell from the outside because we're not in their brains as a way to sit there and go, oh, the wheels have come off. I've really blown it. Now I'm really going to shoot a number here. My chances of winning are over. I just ruined this round. All those thoughts are negative thoughts. They are going to slow your momentum. You have a train, it's moving forward, and when you have a negative thought, you basically are putting a caboose on that train and throwing coal in the back of it. And for each negative thought you have, you're adding more coal into the back of that momentum so that you start slowing that energy down. You start slowing that motion down. That is how we break momentum. That is how we stop our momentum, is that we have a situation or a circumstance, a shot, a score, a number. We could even have the weather change. We could have someone talk to us kind of in a weird way. We get a bad break, a bad bounce. All of that stuff suddenly becomes not neutral. We make it mean something negative. And the more we keep saying negative things shot after shot or hole after hole, we really keep putting weight in the back of that momentum until all of a sudden things are going in the other direction. Now all of a sudden you're going kind of snowball effect. Things are going really bad. You've made a bunch of doubles in a row, right? You feel like you're saying to yourself, I can't seem to get my momentum back. Right? I just got out of whack. I couldn't get my momentum back. A bunch of bad things happened. None of that is true. We created that with our thoughts. You're in control of your emotions, not the number. You're in control of your thoughts, not whether the ball goes in the water. You're in control of your momentum that you're creating, regardless of what you put on the scorecard. This is where we sabotage ourselves. This is where we hit a ball and our brain starts chattering like, uh-oh, right? Or we miss a putt, uh-oh, here we go. The wheels are coming off, right? Now we start thinking about our swing or we start overanalyzing it. You can keep those thoughts that you had going forward, that things are feeling pretty good, that this is my day, things are going to turn around. You can think any of those so that you can keep that momentum of that train going forward. So we start with momentum. We break that momentum by adding a bunch of negative coal to the back of that train. And now we're like, all right, I need to regain that momentum. And this is what I want to offer to you. The energy that it takes once that train starts moving in the other direction, that momentum and that energy train of your emotion starts moving in the other direction, it takes a lot of energy to stop it and then turn it around. I'm not saying you can't regain momentum and go in the other direction. I'm just saying never let yourself start going in the other way. Never let yourself put the weight in the back of that train. Never let the train start backing up the hill. Because for you to stop it, you have to first stop at the momentum, then you have to turn it around and get it going the other direction. We do that, again, with our thoughts. You do not need to hit a good golf shot for you to turn around your momentum. I know a lot of my clients sit there and say, once I hit a good golf shot, then I started feeling better again, right? Where your emotions are volatile based on the shots that you're hitting. That's like that you're going to break the train for sure, right? If you're jerking it from going downhill to uphill, right? You do not need to hit a good shot to feel good or create positive energy or positive emotion. I promise you that. When you do that, if that is your thought and you're waiting for you to have a good hole or a birdie or to hit it close or to make a putt so that you can start feeling good, so that you can start getting your momentum going in the other direction, it puts so much pressure on your swing that you might never get that. You're sitting there going, oh, I just need to make a birdie and then I'll feel good about my golf game again. Or, oh, if I only made another putt, then I would start feeling better about my putting. Just that pressure in itself makes that hard to achieve. Right? So my point is never let yourself create that negative energy in the first place, because to regain momentum takes a lot of effort. It becomes mentally exhausting. That's where we end up finishing the hole with a lot of mental fatigue. We come into those last few holes and we're just tired because we've had to think so hard and work so hard on trying to maintain positive energy or emotion, or to fight ourselves from all that negative talk that we've had. Right? It's just draining. My advice to you is not allow yourself to create that negative energy. Now, I have people who tell me, listen, Kathy, they're like, when I sit there and beat myself up, it motivates me. Okay, I'm calling BS on that. Beating yourself up is not a way to motivate yourself. It never feels good. Maybe you can turn it around. Maybe you can sit there and then create an energy of wanting to be focused and driven. But again, it takes a lot of effort to turn that around, right? Why not just take the easy path, right? Why not just keep that momentum going in one direction? Don't allow yourself even to turn around the other direction thinking that that's going to help us. There's too much friction in that. So yes, is it easier to keep momentum when you're playing well? Of course, right? It's beautiful when we hit all the traffic lights and they're all green and we're cruising down the road, right? And life is great. Those are great days when things are going well for us. It doesn't mean that we have to lose our momentum if we don't have a great day. It doesn't mean that we have to turn it into a bad day. So yes, things are effortless. It doesn't take a lot of energy for us to create positive motion when we're making lots of birdies and pars and we're feeling really good. And we're hitting it down the middle. We're hitting it in the middle of the fairway. We're hitting it close to the pin. We're making the putts. Easy peasy. That's an easy day, but golf is not like that. We don't always hit it down the middle. We don't always hit it in the center of the green, and we don't always make all the putts. So when that happens, that doesn't mean that's an opportunity for you to think negatively, or that you've lost momentum, or that you're not having a great day, or that you're going to ruin your score. Right? It is all neutral. Whether you're hitting it down the middle of the fairway and hitting the middle of the green, neutral. Same as if you're hitting in the trees and you're hitting in the bunkers and you're doing a lot of chipping. Totally neutral. You get to decide what you want to think about all of it. So my suggestion is I want you to create this visual about momentum in your swing and that you're the only one who stops it. You're a train and you're moving forward with this momentum from positive energy, positive thoughts that you're creating, that you're thinking intentionally in your mind. You're saying to yourself that create this positive energy that are going to keep you moving forward. It doesn't matter what your score is. It doesn't matter what the shot was that just happened. It doesn't matter if you had a bad bounce. It's still available to you, right? And it serves you so much better. There's just an upside to it. Thinking the other way and having a negative talking to yourself, or where you're beating yourself up, there is no upside to that. So it serves no good. So just don't do it. You need to stop that. You can be upset about a shot and you get 30 seconds to get over it, right? So I want you to go out there and that's your goal, right? Okay, I hit it in the water. I'm not saying not to be upset for sure, right? So you hit it in the water, you're like, dang it, right? You might say something harder than dang it, but so you cuss. Fine, I get it. So golf is like the emotions can be volatile in the game. Give yourself 30 seconds to be a little ticked off and then get yourself back with some positive emotion. Right? I don't want you to resist being upset. I don't want you to sit there and have to think that you have to say positive emotions all the time. Be very cognizant of the fact how many negative thoughts you're saying to yourself, and be very aware like, oh, I'm moving my train in the wrong direction right here. Right? And don't allow it to get that turned around and going the other way, because it's going to be really hard to regain that momentum going positive. So you want to be aware, listen, this isn't going to serve me. Right? I can be a little ticked off over that shot, but I'm going to get back and say the things that I need to say to myself so that I can focus and show up and be calm and confident and certain over my next shot. And wherever that shot goes, it doesn't matter. It's totally neutral. It's neither good nor bad until you make it so with what you say to yourself. And the things that you say to yourself affect your momentum. And that momentum affects your swing, which then creates results for you. Right? So I just want to put a little physics spin from an economics major on momentum, and how momentum is totally available to you. You are not at the effect of it. It doesn't happen to you. You create it. You create it with your thoughts. You create it with your emotions, and you can keep it going regardless of what your shots do. All right. I hope that helped, my friend, and I will talk to you next week. So if you're interested in taking this work a little bit deeper, you are always welcome to work with me one-on-one or join my masterclass at masteryourgolfbrain.com, and you can get started today. See you there.